a very warm welcome. I am Gursheen Garland and you're watching Firstpost. In the next few minutes, I get you the top 40 updates from around the world, only here on Fast and Factual. Let's get started. We begin with the latest from the United States of America, where a rift between President Donald Trump and his first buddy Elon Musk is widening. Musk said that if Donald Trump's big beautiful will becomes a law, a new political party will be formed. In a series of posts on X, Musk claimed that tax and spending bill would increase the national debt in the United States. To this, Trump replied on Truth Social, stating that without subsidies, Musk would have to close shop and head back to South Africa. Meanwhile, U.S. senators endured a marathon session on Monday as Republicans pushed to pass Donald Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill. The Senate's vote-a-rama session dragged into this 13-hour with no end in sight, raising doubts about Trump's hope to sign the bill before Independence Day. The proposal, which seeks to extend Trump's expiring tax cuts, ramp up military spending and fund mass deportation efforts, is estimated to add a staggering $3.3 trillion to the national debt over the next decade. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar arrived in the United States for a meeting with his counterparts from the Quadrilateral Security Alliance. On Monday, speaking at the inauguration of the exhibition on the human cost of terrorism at the UN headquarters, Jaishankar underlined the Security Council's condemnation of the Pakistan-sponsored Pahalgam terror attack. No impunity to terrorists, no treating them as proxies, and no yielding to nuclear blackmail, Jaishankar said. The White House press secretary revealed that the trade deal between the US and India is very close. The press secretary further added that President Trump and Secretary of Commerce are finalizing the agreements. An announcement will soon be made by the president and his trade team. The White House also reiterated that India is a key strategic ally in the Indo-Pacific region. Violent clashes broke out in Istanbul after police used tear gas and rubber bullets to disperse protesters, angered by a cartoon published in satirical magazine Lehman. The drawing allegedly depicted Prophet Muhammad and Moses shaking hands as missiles rained below. The city's chief prosecutor has ordered the arrest of the magazine editors, citing public insult of religious values. Protesters also targeted a bar frequented by Lehman staff. At least 74 people died in 3 different Israeli airstrikes in Gaza. One of the strikes hit a beachside cafe in central Gaza, killing at least 30 people. Another strike on the Al-Wida street killed at least 5. At least 11 died near 8 points in central and southern Gaza. Over 100 people have sustained injuries. Russia launched fresh strikes on Ukraine, targeting fuel supply facilities, drone production hubs and ammunition depots. This is according to Moscow's Ministry of Defense. The ministry also claimed to have shot down 144 Ukrainian drones in the past 24 hours. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky also warned of a significant Russian troop buildup near Pokrovsk. Meanwhile, 1 died, 3 wounded after Ukraine attacked Donetsk on late Monday. North Korean state media aired rare footage of Kim Jong-un mourning troops killed while fighting for Russia in Ukraine. The flag-draped coffins were presented in a solemn ceremony in Pyongyang, marking the first anniversary of a mutual defense pact between Moscow and Pyongyang. South Korea estimates around 600 North Korean soldiers have died in Ukraine, with thousands more wounded. Thailand's Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra has been suspended by the Constitutional Court amid an ethics investigation linked to a recent border clash with Cambodia. Accepting the suspension, the Thai PM said, and I quote, "I want to apologize to people who are upset by all of this. I will continue to work for the country as a Thai citizen," end quote. A leaked phone call in which she referred to Cambodia's ex-leader Hun Sen as uncle and a Thai commander as her opponent triggered backlash. The court will decide if Paetongtarn breached ministerial ethics. Taiwan is ramping up defense readiness ahead of its largest ever Hankong military exercise starting July 9th. Defense officials warn of potential provocations from China and say forces are ready to respond if threats arise. Over 22,000 reservists will be mobilized for the 10-day drill, which includes civil defense measures like missile alerts and evacuation tests in cities including Taipei. On to climate news now. Europe faced another day of extreme heat. Temperatures touched 46 degrees Celsius in parts of Spain and Portugal. Nearly all of mainland France was under heat alert for the first time. The heat wave hit southern Europe the hardest, including Greece, Italy, Spain and Portugal, with temperatures above 42 degrees Celsius. Doctors warned of serious health risk as hot days and warm nights continued. The UN chief, speaking at a summit in Spain, said extreme heat had become the new normal. Türki battles wildfires for second straight day. According to reports, flames swept through western and southern areas amid strong winds. Over 50,000 people were moved from their homes to safer locations. In a village near Izmir, residents cut trees to stop the fire. An industrial area in a western province of Turkey also caught fire. Experts said climate change had made summers hotter and wildfires more frequent. Wildfires raged across Southern California on Monday. The Wildfire spread over 2,400 acres in Riverside County, forcing evacuations. The fire was just 10% contained as of Monday afternoon. Firefighters used helicopters and air tankers to control the blaze. Another fire, called the Juniper Fire, also burned through hundreds of acres. Officials said hot, dry and windy conditions helped the flames spread fast. Multiple fires are now burning across the region as extreme heat continues. A coastal city in Argentina woke up to snow for the first time in over 30 years. Miramar saw a thin layer of snow on Monday morning. It was the city's first snowfall since 1991. Videos showed snow on the beach and streets. Officials said temperatures dropped below freezing and would stay low until Thursday. Locals were caught by surprise as the winter cold swept the region. In India, landslides in Himachal trapped 300 people in highway tunnels on Monday. 3 people died, taking the monsoon death toll in the state to 44. Schools and colleges were closed across Himachal as rain continued. Meanwhile, a cloudburst in parts of Uttarakhand killed 2 people and left 9 missing. Rescue teams used boats and machines to reach the stranded. The weather department issued alerts as landslide hit both states. On to business and tech news now. Asian shares crept higher earlier today as markets awaited a vote for President Trump's landmark tax and spending legislation. MSCI's broadest index of Asia-Pacific shares outside Japan was up 0.5%, led by South Korea's Kospi Gorge rising 1.8%. Meanwhile, Japan's Nikkei Gorge of shares sank as much as 1.1% as the yen climbed. The US dollar recorded its worst first-half performance in more than 50 years as investors were selling off the currency amid concerns over President Trump's tariffs and rising national debt. The dollar has fallen by nearly 11% against a basket of currencies since the start of this year. This is its worst performance over the first 6 months of any year since 1973. A new report suggested prices for goods made in China and sold on Amazon.com have been rising faster than overall inflation. The analysis showed that price increases for those goods accelerated beginning in May, a signal that President Trump's tariffs were starting to filter through to the consumers. Boeing announced the appointment of former Lockheed Martin executive Jesus Malev as its new chief financial officer effective August 15th. The management change came as Boeing was undergoing a broader transformation to restore its reputation and increase jet production. Retailer Home Depot announced a $4.3 billion deal to acquire specialty building products distributor GMS as it expanded its focus on professional contractors. The agreement came amid a hostile takeover threat from QXO, which has offered a competing bid last month. GMS finalized the deal after reviewing other options, with the transaction expected to close by the end of the fiscal year. Hershey has reportedly announced plans to remove synthetic dyes from its snacks by the end of 2027. The move followed new health directives from US officials targeting artificial food colors linked to conditions like ADHD and obesity. This comes as other major food companies were also reformulating their products. A US federal judge rejected Apple's request to dismiss a Justice Department lawsuit accusing the company of unlawfully dominating the smartphone market. The case was focusing on Apple's restrictions on third-party developers and competing devices which the US claimed were harming competition. Apple responded by defending its policies and vowed to continue fighting the lawsuit in the court. A new report suggested that Apple was considering using artificial intelligence technology from Anthropic or OpenAI to allegedly power a new version of Siri. The company had been reportedly holding early talks with both firms exploring options to run their language models on Apple's cloud infrastructure. OpenAI confirmed it had no active plans to use Google's in-house AI chips at scale after reports suggested otherwise. The company said it was conducting early testing with Google's Tensor processing units while continuing to rely on NVIDIA and AMD hardware. Alphabet's Google said it has struck a deal to buy power from a project in Virginia, fueled by fusion, the reaction that powers the sun and the stars but is not yet commercial on Earth. Google signed what it called the technology's first direct corporate power purchase agreement with Commonwealth Fusion Systems, a company that spun off from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in 2018. Moving to sports, we begin with football. Al Hilal sent English giants Manchester City crashing out of the Club World Cup. The Saudi Arabian side snatched a shock 4-3 victory in extra time in the biggest upset of the tournament so far. The match finished 2-2 at full time, but at the end of an eventful extra time, Marcus Leonardo grabbed the winner. In tennis, men's world number 2 Carlos Alcaraz survived a major scare in his Wimbledon opener. The recently crowned French Open champion beat Italian veteran Fabio Fognini 7-5, 6-7, 7-5, 2-6, 6-1. The match lasted 4 hours and 37 minutes in sweltering conditions on Wimbledon Centre Court. Men's world number 8 Holger Rune crashed out of Wimbledon. The Danish star blew to a 2-set lead against Chile's Nicolas Harry. Rune was beaten 4-6, 4-6, 7-5, 6-3, 6-4 in 3 hours and 34 minutes. The 22-year-old is yet to make it past the quarterfinals at any of the 4 Grand Slams. His best run came at Wimbledon, ending in the last 8 in 2023. Former US champion Daniil Medvedev crashes out of Wimbledon. The men's world number 9 lost to Frenchman Benjamin Bonzi 7-6, 3-6, 7-6, 6-2. The match lasted 3 hours and 7 minutes. It was the first time in 7 Wimbledon appearances that Medvedev failed to advance past the opening round. Women's world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka advanced in the Wimbledon. The Belarusian top seed beat Canadian qualifier Carson Brandstein in straight sets in their opening match. Sabalenka said practicing with Novak Djokovic and Jannik Sinner had sharpened her game. The 27-year-old looks to ease the pain of losing in the finals of Australian Open and French Open this year. In basketball, Jordan refused to play Israel at the FIBA Under-19 World Cup in Switzerland over Gaza war. The International Basketball Federation said the game would be forfeited in favor of Israel. Amos Frischman, president of the Israeli Basketball Federation, expressed regret at Jordan's decision. England named an unchanged team for the second test against India, starting at Edgbaston on Wednesday. England deferred the match-expected return of Jofra Archer in the squad. The 30-year-old was forced to miss Monday's training session due to a family emergency. Ben Stokes' men won the opening match of the 5-test series of 5 wickets last week. Pakistan named former all-rounder Azhar Mahmood as the interim head of coach for their test side. Azhar is the 4th man to take the post in the last 18 months. The 50-year-old will remain in the position until January, the Pakistan Cricket Board said. India's World Cup winning captain Mahendra Singh Dhoni is officially the captain cool. Dhoni's application for the trademark of the phrase was accepted and advertised by the authorities. Captain cool phrase is widely associated with Dhoni's calm on-field demeanour. And the Indian delegation led by former sprinter PT Usha reaches Switzerland to strengthen the country's bid to host the 2036 Olympics. The Indian side is scheduled to meet the officials of the International Olympic Committee to discuss the opportunity to shape the future of Olympic sports. In entertainment news, a criminal investigation has been launched into performances by Bob Dylan and Kneecap at Glastonbury Festival. Authorities are reviewing whether comments made during the acts, including chants against Israel's military, amount to a criminal offence. The police have recorded the matter as a public order incident. Meanwhile, the US has revoked the visas of the British rap punk duo. Deliberations are underway in the federal trial of Sean Diddy Combs, who faces multiple serious charges, including sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation for prostitution. A guilty verdict on racketeering could mean life imprisonment. The judge praised the great lawyering by both sides as the jury of 12 now decides the music mogul's fate. Fashion's coldest runway is back. Meryl Streep, Anne Hathaway, Emily Blunt and Stanley Tucci have reunited to film The Devil Wears Prada 2. Directed by 20th Century Studios, the sequel also features Kenneth Branagh as Miranda Priestley's husband. The announcement follows Vogue's Anna Wintour revealing her retirement, fitting as the original was inspired by her infamous editorial reign. Amazon MGM Studios dropped the first trailer for Project Hail Mary, as it stars Ryan Gosling as an untrained science teacher thrust into a space mission to save Earth. Directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, the film is based on Andy Weir's novel, hits theaters March 20, 2026. Gosling's character wakes up alone on a spacecraft with no memory, eventually learning he's humanity's last hope against a dying sun. And pop sensation Sabrina Carpenter has raised over $1 million in under a year for mental health initiatives, LGBTQ+ advocacy and animal welfare via the Sabrina Carpenter Fund. The fund, in partnership with Plus One, is the fastest growing artist-led initiative on the platform and supports grassroots organizations during her short and sweet tour. That's all for today. Thank you for joining us. I am Gushin Galan and we'll see you right back here tomorrow. Stay informed and stay tuned to Firstpost.